Welcome everyone to this training module on ArcGIS. Before we begin, I will show you what our goal is. That is, how will the result look like. These are the stations that we give as input before delineation. Now, after delineation, this is the network of rivers that we get. This is the basin. These are the sub-basins. I will switch off the river network layer to show you the sub-basins more clearly. So this is what we will be getting after delineation. Now let's look at the whole process from beginning. So now let's see how to download DEM files. Open your browser, search SRTM 90 meters. Open this link, click on SRTM data. Select 5 by 5 degree, then select the tiles which will cover the geographical extent of the basin. If you have any doubt whether a basin will be covered by these two tiles or not, then you can select more tiles also. The difference is only that processing takes more time when more tiles are selected. As I know that these two tiles will cover my basin, so I have selected only these two. Now click on search. Download these files. These are downloaded as zip files, so you need to extract them to the required folder. One very important thing that should be taken care of since the beginning is the folder system. Place all the files making proper folders in a very systematic manner. Otherwise, in the end, after finishing creating the model, there will be so many scattered files that you will not be able to work on them properly. So I am creating a new folder named Tapi ArcGIS. In this folder, I will create a new folder named DEM. Now, I will extract my DEM files in this folder. Now, let's start working on ArcGIS. In Start menu, type ArcMap and open this application. Now, as we have to create a new project and we don't need to open any existing project, so click on Cancel here. Firstly, let's get familiar with the working area. This middle portion is the area where all the layers we add to our project are displayed. This, on left hand side, is the table of contents. As the name suggests, it shows the list of all the layers that you add to this working area. This, on right hand side, is the catalog. It shows the folders of our computer from where you can select and add any layer to your project. Now there are two methods to add a layer. First, click on Add Data button here. This dialog box opens. You can open any file from here that you want. Second method is very simple. Just drag the file you want to add from catalog and drop it on this working area. Now, very important thing. Whether it is adding data from this window or from catalog, you can add a file to your project only when the folder it is in is connected to ArcGIS. Let's see what does it mean. We have downloaded DEM files in Tapi ArcGIS folder. Now how do we open them, as the folder Tapi ArcGIS is not visible here? So what do? Click on this icon, Connect to Folder. Now select the desired folder and click on OK. Now see, our folder is being displayed here, so we can add any file from this folder to ArcGIS now. So now let's add the two DEMs here. Either drag and drop or click here, choose the folder we just connected and open the file. Before we start working on these, look at this. If by mistake you close table of contents or catalog, then no need to worry. These are the buttons from where you can open them. Table of contents, catalog, and this is the search button. From here we search and use any tool or function we want to. We will understand it later when we'll use it to perform a function. And yes, suppose you add any file to a folder and it is not visible here in ArcGIS, then it's simple. Right click on that folder here in catalog and click on refresh. See this. Suppose any edit layer is not fully visible, then right click on that, click on zoom to layer. So this first layer gets visible now. If I zoom the second layer, then this gets visible. So to view both the layers at the same time, press shift, select both of them, right click and select zoom to layers. Now we have to merge or mosaic the two DEMs into a single raster. Firstly, right click on any DEM raster and select properties. Open the source tab. Note down its number of bands, pixel type and depth, and spatial reference. This is because we have to provide the same values to the new raster as the parent DEM raster. Before we begin, open TAPI ArcGIS folder and create a new folder named DEM processed. Open it and now create a new folder named mosaic. Now click on search, type mosaic to new raster and press enter. Click on this. Now the parent DEM rasters will be given in input. Either select them from this drop down or drag and drop the file like this. Now click on this icon to provide the output location. Select the folder inside which you want to place the new raster. Keep this in mind. Here you only have to select the folder and then give here a new name for the raster with extension. So I will name it DEM_mosaic. Now we have to enter other properties which we had noted down of parent raster. Firstly, for spatial resolution, click here. As you can see, WGS84 was the required spatial resolution. It is displayed in favorites in my system. But if you are using the software for the first time, then double click on geographical coordinate system, then on world. Now select WGS 1984 and click on OK. Enter the pixel type and number of bands same as the parent raster. Then click on OK. Now the mosaic DEM will be created. Now we only need the mosaic DEM, so we can switch off the earlier two DEMs. Now look here. According to this, the lightest color represents the highest elevation value and the darkest color represents the lowest elevation value. So let's see using this eye or this identify tool. Select this tool and click on a dark or comparatively black colored portion. See, the value is very less. This value increases when we click on a gray portion and it further increases when we click on a whiter portion. Now, as the mosaic DEM is in geographical coordinate system, so we need to project it to UTM. First, open TAPI ArcGIS folder. In DEM processed folder, create a new folder named projected. Now open ArcGIS and search project raster. Open this. Now give DEM mosaic as the input raster. Here we have to give the location and name of output raster. Click here. Open the folder where you have to place the projected DEM and name it as DEM_projected. Now click here to select the output coordinate system. UTM zone for TAPI is 43N. If it is not being shown in favorites, double click on projected coordinate systems, then UTM, then Northern Hemisphere, then select WGS 1984 UTM zone 43N and click on OK. Now click on OK and the projected DEM will be created. If you remember, while downloading DEM, we had searched for SRTM 90 meters. So let's check whether the cell size of our DEM is 90 meters or not. First, right click on Mosaic DEM and open its properties. The cell size is 0.000833. This is because this is an angular system. Now right click on projected DEM and open its properties and see the cell size is approximately 90 meters as required. Now we can switch off this layer of DEM mosaic as it is not needed anymore. The layers which are no longer required can also be removed from here. Just right click and select remove. If later on you wish to add any layer, then you can just drag it from catalog and drop here. Now before we start with delineation, we need to have a shapefile of stations in this basin. For creating the shapefile, you need to have the stations list with their latitudes and longitudes in an Excel file like this. So using this, we will create the shapefile. Creating shapefile using latitudes and longitudes is a very simple task. The only thing to be kept in mind is that the coordinates should not be in degree minutes. They should be in degree decimal like this. So let's see how to get the shapefile. The Excel file will be shown here in the catalog. Double click on it. This shows the list of all the sheets of your file. Drag and drop the file which contains the coordinates. Here it is sheet 1 as there is only one sheet in our file. Now right click here and click on display XY data. Check the coordinate system and click on OK. Now let's save the shapefile. First, open Tapi ArcGIS folder and create a new folder named Shapefiles. Here we will save all our important shape files which will be subsequently created. Now open ArcGIS, right click here and click on data, then export data. Now select a location and enter the name for your shapefile. So I will give the name as stations.shp, which is the extension of shapefile. Now click on save, click on OK, and this file will be added as a layer here. Now remove this temporarily created file. Now coming to the delineation. We do delineation using a tool known as ArcSweat. Right click here and click on ArcSweat to switch on this toolbar. Now it is possible that this ArcSweat is not visible in your software here, so you will need to download and install it. Open browser and search download ArcSweat for ArcGIS. Click on this link, select your ArcGIS version. You can type ArcMap in start menu to check the version. It is 10.1 for mine, so I select ArcGIS 10.1 here and download. So after it gets downloaded, you can extract the files and install it. Now open ArcGIS, switch on ArcSweat, click on SWAT project setup and select new SWAT project. Click yes to save this project. Now create a new folder named SWAT in Tapi ArcGIS folder and save the current project there. It is not necessary to save the current project. You can continue without saving it also. Now here in project directory, we only have to select the folder where we want to place the SWAT project, which we will now create. So select the SWAT folder we just created. Rest all things can be used as it is. Now click on OK. Now click on watershed delineator and select automatic watershed delineation. Now here we have to open our projected DEM file. Now click on this button for flow direction and accumulation. Now provide a value of area here, and remember, very important point to be noted here is that lesser the value of area, more dense will be the river network we will get, or the order of streams will be higher. So if you want the streams till a particular order only, then it is basically done on hit and trial basis. Now click here for creating streams and outlets. Now we will delete the outlets created, as we have to provide our stations or sites as input here. So select this option and drag the cursor to select all the points and then delete. Now add the station's shapefile here, which we had created in the beginning. Now click on this icon. We are increasing the size and changing the color of stations icons so that they are clearly visible. Now right click and select stop editing. Now open the watershed delineation dialog box. Select this add points button. As I told you earlier, we have deleted all the outlets that were automatically created, and now we have to manually add the outlets which are the positions of our stations. That's why we had added the station's shapefile here. Now we have to zoom in at every station location. Press the shift key and click on that station icon to create an outlet there. After doing this, you can change the color and the shape of outlets created just to see whether outlet has been created at each and every station position or not. If not, then press the shift key and add the outlet at remaining places. Now right click and select stop editing. Now you can open the attribute table of both the station shapefile and the outlets we created manually. If the total number of rows is the same, then there is no remaining or extra added outlet. Now open the watershed delineation dialog box. Click on this icon to select the outlet point of whole basin. Then select this point. Now click here to delineate the watershed. So here we have got our delineated watershed. Please note that I have cut short the processing time in the video, so all these processes will actually take a longer time. Now let's zoom to basin layer to see the whole delineated basin. Switch off the DEM layer as it is no longer needed, or let's just remove it from the map. Now see these files: basin, monitoring points, reach and watershed. These have been created after delineation, but we don't have them as shape files with us. So we will export each one of them and save with us. Before we do that, open Tapi ArcGIS folder and in shapefiles folder create these 4 folders named basin, subbasins, river and outlets. Now open ArcGIS, right click, click on data, export data. Save all the 4 shape files in the respective folder just created and click on yes to add them to map as layer. Now these are the shape files which we have saved, and we can remove the earlier files as they are no longer needed. So click here and then remove these files. Now If you are not able to reorder these layers, then click on this icon and see, now they can be reordered. Now we will increase the width of basin's boundary to make it visible clearly. So click here and increase the width. Now we will turn off all layers, leaving just the river layer as we have to work on it. Now choose this select features tool. Now see here, when I select a portion of river, whole river does not get selected. This means we need to merge the various parts of a river into one, and we have to do this for all the tributaries. So press the shift key and start selecting the parts of the main river first. Now see here, this is the main river, but on selecting this portion, this tributary also gets selected. So that means before merging, we need to break or explode the river into various parts, and after that we can merge the required parts into one. So first, right click here. In the list there is a toolbar named Advanced Editing. Switch it on, so this advanced editing toolbar will be displayed. Now right click on river, click on edit features and start editing. Now drag the cursor to select all the parts and click on this icon of explode multi-part feature here. Now see, all the different parts can be individually selected. So firstly, we will select the various parts of main river while pressing the shift key. Then click here on editor and merge. Now see, we got our main river. Similarly, check for all other tributaries and merge them individually wherever required. Do remember to zoom in and check that none of the parts is left out. Now click on editor and stop editing and save the edits. Now we will check whether all the exploded parts have been merged into some tributary or not. So count the total number of streams: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now right click here and open the attribute table. See, here also 8 rows are present. If there would have been more than 8 rows present here, then we would have checked which part has been left and we would have merged it into the respective stream. Now we have to name the streams. So click here, select add fields, give the name and select the type as text. So the new column for name has been created. Drag it to the beginning of the table. Now right click here, select edit features and start editing to enter the names of the streams. Do remember, firstly we need to add the field to the table. After that we start the editing tool and enter the data. Now see here, whichever row we select here in the table, that particular stream gets highlighted on the map. So checking which stream it is, enter the names for all here in the table. Before that, let's do one more thing. Close this table, look at the streams. There are some streams which are relatively very small. So such streams which are much smaller and will not contribute much to the model can be removed, because sometimes a lot of smaller streams are created and then it becomes necessary to enter the cross sections of all the smaller streams also during modeling. So it is better to remove such streams beforehand only. Now open the attribute table and enter the names of all the streams. The names of the rivers are not getting displayed here. So to switch on the names, first go to editor and select start editing. Then right click here and open properties. Go to the labels tab, tick on this checkbox. Here select the column that contains the name of the rivers and click on OK. Now see, the names of the rivers are displayed. Now open attribute table for outlets. See here, there is no column for the names of the stations. Add the station shapefile here and check the attribute table. The names of the outlets or stations are available in this. Now let us switch on the label from properties. Now let's open the attribute table of subbasins. Names of subbasins are not edited in this. So click here, select add fields, give the name and select the type as text. So the new column for name has been created. Drag it to the beginning of the table. So the point here is that whatever is the name of the outlet, the name of its corresponding subbasin is the same. For example, name of this outlet is Tesca. So the name of this subbasin will also be Tesca. Now right click here, select edit features and start editing to enter the names of subbasins. Now enter the name of all the subbasins by looking at their respective outlet's name. Now close this table, click on editor and select stop editing. Click on yes to save the edits. Now switch on the label for subbasin layer also. So this is our final delineated basin, which will be further used for modeling. So all the best everyone for working on ArcGIS.